Solana has proven to be the king this cycle. Every time there's one crypto that clearly gets a lot of the capital flows going, a lot of the usage, and Solana is dominating in that respect. Now, if after watching this you go buy a bunch of Solana and lose all of your money, that's your fault. Please don't blame me for it, and that's a genuine disclaimer. Take personal responsibility in everything that you do and stop blaming other people. And if you're watching this, you're very likely to be a person who does not blame other people, but this is for that. You know who you are. If this resonates, make sure you watch out, okay? But I want to do a talk about Solana and give you a lot of kind of details that I found through my paid resources. So Solana is just a faster ETH, right? Solana also has a golden check mark from the powers that be globally. So that's, every three-letter world controlling agency that you can think about has accepted Solana and it's built by them for them. Super low fees, speeds are amazing, but the ecosystem has really exploded this time around. Before the previous cycle, FTX was built on it. When it crashed, Solana crashed alongside it. But right after that, we found that the meme coin craze took off on Solana. Okay, now on one side, Solana is very centralized. It's very controlled. It's been paused in the past. Now all of that is conducive to the people who really want to use blockchain to build the world, rather than have this kind of free world idea that we all love to talk about. I think the meme coin craze going nuts on Solana was a big sign, which showed that a lot of capital flowed to Solana, a lot of development happened there, a lot of the eyeballs and the attention has been on Solana. This cycle, that happening to Solana, makes Solana one of the best plays to participate in, according to my analysis, right? Raul, that guy, says the same thing, right? He crushed it in that. But here's a few different little nitty-gritty details. Now, when I say names, again, if you go by these names blindly, I know where you live. I will come to your house. I will find you, and I will just probably have a discussion with you about, like, man, that's just not the way to do it, and like, let's do other things. Just very, very cordial stuff. Now, what happened with ETH was we watched the ecosystem of ETH develop during the DeFi days. So we saw different platforms get launched on ETH, and one was the new this, one was the new that. It really allowed us to see that ecosystem develop. Solana is going through the same thing now. So here's a few amazing things that I've found. One is Pyth, Pyth, is a market data oracle that's on Solana. Now, an oracle takes real world data and feeds it into the blockchain computers to make it useful. Data is the new oil. So Chainlink has been by far the biggest oracle in the crypto game. Pyth is a new one, but it's on Solana. That, I think, is going to be a great play. Obviously, very high risk, because these are small market cap things, very high risk. But that thesis that we need things on Solana to be able to, oracles on Solana to be able to feed data into it, just makes sense to me. Okay, that's a great play that I'm looking at. Jito, Jito, is a liquidity staking provider on Solana. Marinade is another liquidity staking provider. Those tend to be very DeFi plays. So if you don't understand DeFi, you're probably going to get hurt. But if you do understand DeFi, that's something to look into. I think those are great plays. Jupiter is a token aggregator. It's like a 1-inch, but a Solana version that I think is going to do really well, because they're looking at securities and a lot of traditional plays, which I have never seen before. Also, it aggregates all the different dexes into one place. So people tend to go to Jupiter and use that because it'll just find you the best trade rather than trying all the different exchanges. Now, if you do want one of those exchanges, Orca, ORCA, yes, killer whale style Orca, is a dex that's on Solana that has been doing really well. The market cap was really low, and I think it's going to be like a Uniswap on Solana. If you're like, what is a Uniswap? What is all these things? Please don't touch these things. You will get very hurt. Somebody will take all of your money, and you will cry to sleep. Render, RNDR, that's one that's been really great for us. that migrated to Solana. So it's going from RNDR to RENDR, I think. Effectively, that's going to be the Solana version of Render. But that is an AI play where it's fractionalized GPUs. AI is doing great. It's DPIN, which is decentralized physical infrastructure networks. It's the physical infrastructure and it's AI and it's leveraging from Solana. So that's going to be a big benefit from there. Bonk looks like the Doge of Solana. So the Bonk actually did great. A lot of liquidity is flowing from ETH to Solana. When you look at liquidity flows, that's been going on quite a bit. And Solana was one of the biggest movers in this kind of pre-pump that we've had during this cycle. I think in this next pullback, there's going to be some great opportunities to buy that. Below $120, I feel like is not a bad price to get Solana. Anything around the 50-ish range is an absolute steal. Now, one of the big things that's actually happening with Solana is that we're watching players from the traditional finance space come to Solana. So there's this upgrade happening to Solana called the Fire Dancer upgrade, right? And it's going to allow Solana to do up to 1.2 million transactions per second by only upgrading the hardware, okay? This is from the guys from Jump Trading, and Jump Trading is a very respected firm from, I think it's from London. But they're like the Wall Street guys that know world-class finance, and the kind of transaction throughput that's existed on Solana and all these other blockchains before is child's play when it comes to the kind of transaction flows they're talking about. So this Fire Dancer upgrade is going to take Solana to the levels of beyond what MasterCard can process, at the levels of what Wall Street and the biggest institutions need to be able to process, at the speeds they need to be able to process for it to be functional. It's also going to allow transactions to go through multiple markets, make them more efficient, make them cheaper. And eventually, with this system, if you keep upgrading the hardware, the capabilities keep going up. So that means Solana becomes infinitely scalable all the way up to quantum computers, which could probably do some banana stuff. So all of that is lending me to believe that ETH has become my new Bitcoin. Solana has become my new ETH. And yeah, let's see what happens. But the usage, all this stuff is going nuts. Please, again, be careful with a lot of these things. I wouldn't be surprised if Solana is at $1,000, $1,000 or $1,500 by 2026. And if that doesn't happen, I'll just add it to the list of things that I was wrong about. There's a pretty big pile. I'm wrong like everybody else. So hopefully that helps. And if you crushed it on Solana, don't subscribe. I don't care. Don't leave a comment. I don't check them very much. Enjoy your gains.